everyone. So I'm here talking about the readings for the seventh and final week of this class. Um, it has definitely been a really, for me, fun time with this class. And so, with this week's essay, there were several things that I thought that were really interesting. First off, I want to talk about one of my bigger takeaways from this reading was that Beck's claim that method acting is often mistakenly equated with emotional miming. I thought that was a really interesting way of putting it. I also wanted to note that Stanislavski had moved toward the process for physical actions, and so he was moving away from a different process and then moved towards more of like putting physical actions into their exercises. And that mattered to me because it kind of reframed the method as a much more, I think you could say, a kind of holistic system, or even a dynamic system if you want to put it that way, than kind of what the stereotype of method acting would suggest that it is. The second thing that I want to note, the second thing that stuck out to me in this particular reading for this week, was that Beck's discussion of how method acting became tied to cultural ideals of authenticity. The particular one that kind of stuck out to me was the idea of what he considered to be real acting must feel emotional or personal. And I found that to be really interesting. And it stuck out to me because it kind of made me rethink about how often audiences or even actors sometimes make emotional exhaustion for artistic truth. I thought that was extremely interesting. And it actually just kind of really made me kind of sit and think about that because I honestly hadn't really thought of it in that way until kind of going through and reading this particular chapter in the book. And so it definitely kind of really made me sit and kind of rethink about some things, particularly because I particularly don't do a whole lot with method acting myself, but that definitely kind of made me look at it a little bit differently. And then my third takeaway from this reading was that Beck's suggestion for the future is that actors and teachers should embrace a more flexible approach that draws from Stanislavski's method, but also acknowledges advancements and embodiment, collaboration. And it stuck out to me, that part particularly stuck out to me, because it definitely honors the tradition that they were creating with Stanislavski and with all the other kind of methods at that time, but also acknowledging that what I'm trying to say is acknowledging a lot of the modern, maybe if you want to say, or just like here in the past few years, but evolving techniques that are used in method acting. Because as actors and performers, you know that any kind of method that you use with any kind of acting is always evolving in every single way. But as we've seen, that there are a lot of actors and teachers out there that want to, while stay true to the roots, also kind of want to look at how the methods are evolving. And a lot of people kind of like in this situation want to find I don't know if like solution is the right word, but more of a kind of a method or approach to it that marries the two. So they want to take what's traditionally been done and what's been done now, and they want to bring the two together in a way that definitely works, because they don't want the two to clash, but bring it in a way that you could definitely use what has been done and what's being done now all into one. And I think that is pretty cool. And I think that it is awesome that they did talk about doing that here in this reading as well with this particular method. Because like I said, I personally myself have not really kind of delved into method acting as I've kind of seen some of the negative connotations that it can have. But definitely, kind of after reading this chapter, it has definitely kind of made me rethink it a little bit and kind of put some new ideas and spin on it. It's definitely made me want to kind of search into it more because after reading this, it kind of makes me understand that people take different approaches to method acting instead of just kind of approaches that we all kind of know to be in some situations negative. This actually kind of puts it into a little bit more positive spin. So it's definitely made me want to kind of look into this a little bit more, especially kind of just looking at what they're talking about in this particular chapter. Well, that is my discussion for this week's reading. It has been really fun doing this, and I hope you guys have loved this class as much as I have. All right, guys, Merry Christmas!